Closing the Gap podcast is produced by the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas and is supported by the association, sponsors, and advertising. Information discussed in this podcast is intended for general informational purposes only and does not constitute direct medical advice or solicitation for recruitment abroad. Discussions are aimed at informing and engaging listeners and should not replace professional medical consultations. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider for medical advice specific to your situation. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Closing the Gap podcast, brought to you by the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, also known as ANPA. My name is Dr. Aguwa, emergency medicine physician in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'll be your host for today. Before we get started on our show today, we would like to share a brief excerpt from an interview with one of our ANPA members about why they joined ANPA. Let's take a listen.
Hi, my name is Dr. Uche Aguwa. I am an internal medicine resident, and I am so excited to be a member of ANPA. Moving to the United States, I started searching for an organization that would be a home for me and also help me to pursue and achieve my dreams. Finding ANPA, joining ANPA, I was able to get a lot of support on my residency journey and finally achieve the dream of becoming a resident. ANPA has continued to be a family to me, and it's surprising how much I get to meet people, and despite their caliber of positions, they're always willing to help, they're always nice. And this year I made it to my first mission, and it's been a wonderful experience. One thing I've always wanted to do is give back to Nigeria, and not just to live, but actually be a brain gain to the country. So this year I have been able to do that through helping lots and lots of patients, working with ANPA, helping the community, and I'm definitely going to continue being here. Thank you, ANPA.
ANPA, the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, represent the professional interests of over 5,000 physicians, dentists, and allied health professionals of Nigerian birth, ethnicity, or empathy in the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean. If you are a physician based in the United States, we encourage you to consider joining our association. To find out more about who we are and what we do, please visit our website at www.ampa.org. Before introducing our guest for today, we would like to kick things off with a trivia question. If you know the answer to the question, leave us a comment on social media with your answer. The answer to this week's trivia questions will be shared at the end of the podcast. This spicy, flavorful soup is made with meats such as goat, chicken, and fish. Hint, it is usually served hot and is believed to have medicinal properties. Stay tuned to the show for the answer to this trivia question. The goal of the ANPA Closing the Gap podcast is to share the stories of physicians and healthcare workers in Nigeria and the United States, and how they are helping to close the gaps in provision of healthcare services to people in need of them. Today on our show, we have Dr. Soji Olumuyide with us. You're welcome
Hi.
to the Closing the Gap podcast. Thank you.
Yes, nice to meet you, Dr. Uche Aguwa. It's a privilege to be here.
Thank you. And where are you joining us from today?
So I'm currently in Chicago, Illinois. I'm right now in Chicago, cold city, but amazing place to be at.
Yes, it's December, and we're just about to start winter in the United States for our listeners around the world. So yes, it's very cold in Chicago. So Dr. Olu, please tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started in medicine.
Good. My name is, of course, Dr. Olu Emmanuel. I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, to be precise. And then I did my schooling there, primary school, nursery, secondary school. Then, in Nigeria, you do, after secondary school, you write your JAM, your WAEC, and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And after doing that, I wanted to go into medical school, but like in Nigeria, you have to choose two sides. So you choose your first. My first option was medicine in Unilag, and my second option was mechanical engineering in University of Federal University of Engineering in Akure, which is in Ondo State. So I didn't get into medicine my first time in Nigeria, but going to
Okay.
mechanical engineering. So I did that. And then when I was like around my 19th training, my dad was already here, so he was like, "Oh, do you want to come to the States?" So I was like, "Okay, yeah, of course." Nigeria is always that country that everybody wants to, what they call it, Najapa, like one away. So I was like, "Yeah, why not?" I mean, what do you know about life as a young person? So I came
Yes.
here, and when I came here, I didn't even go into medicine straight up. I did nursing. I
Okay.
did LPN, RN, and then during that time I was deciding like what's the next step for me. So I
Okay.
met a Nigerian doing my nursing career that went to my school in the Caribbean. I was like, you could go there. I did it and you could do it. I know Nigerians, we never carry last. So I was like, if you could do it, I could do it too. So I just went to the Caribbeans. And then that's how I started went into medicine in 2019. And COVID happened, moved back and we did medicine, went through the clinical phase. And then my fourth year, while I was in Chicago, I was privileged to meet someone that told me about, ANPA and, meeting people that could help you get into residency. Because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know like it was going to be the way it is. At the beginning, I just thought like, you pass your exams and you get into residency. But most times you actually need support of people to look at things for you.
Right.
And that's how I got into medicine basically. And then, lucky for me, I was able to match into a residency spot. I'm currently in Chicago, and yeah, hope that's a good
Nice.
summary. Yeah,
No, no, no. That's very helpful because it actually tells us the story of how you started. Not everybody goes straight from undergrad to medical school, and I hope that that helps people understand that it doesn't have to be one path. There are different paths that will lead you to your goal. So, no, thank you so much for sharing that.
100%.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and you also mentioned something about meeting fellow AMPA members. So you are an AMPA member, and so how long have you been an AMPA member?
Yeah, I met a fellow AMPA member, and since then I just became an AMPA member because when I went for the meeting, I met the chairman of our chapter, and it was just friendly. I was like, okay, this is beneficial. You meet different people there, people that are the
Mhm.
attendees that have been doing this for 30 years. You meet people
Right,
that are new to this, people that are doing it for 10, 5 years, and you meet people that are just match like me. I
right,
meet people that live in residency, you meet people that are trying to get into residency. So it was like a good support of knowing your people that, oh, it's not only you going through what you're going through. So basically, I would say I've been for almost going to 6, 7 months now. And
hmm.
it's been amazing being part of a group of amazing people.
That's good. Well, um, were you at the last national convention? I know with your residency, you
No,
probably did not have time for that. Okay,
yeah,
so but
sadly. But it looked
no,
good.
but where the AMPA national convention is held once a year at one of the chapters in the United States, and I believe in the next 3 or 4 years we're going to be coming to your city in Chicago. So hopefully you'll still be there for us to
Yeah, hopefully. If
right,
not, by that time, hopefully, I have more free time to, do what I want
to
to do. But
ex-
hopefully.
exactly. And then next year's is actually going back to Lagos. So for
Oh,
our
that'll be,
listeners that are going to be in Lagos.
oh, nice. Will it be in December?
No, it actually will be in April because they're
Oh,
going to be celebrating their
Easter.
30th year. Yeah, exactly. So, wanted to find out a little bit more about closing the gaps. So, could you tell us how you are helping to close the gaps in provision of healthcare to those who need them?
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, I met someone through the AMPA group. So one of the ways I'll be actually be helping to, close the gap in basically disparities, as we call it, is to recommend people, to my program, first of all. Look, I always think like, the more people the more you carry yourself, the more people respect you, the more people you could recommend people, or people could
Right.
trust you for the word you put in for others. So that was one
Right.
of the ways I've been doing. Like even like the last time I was at the meeting and we had people that was applying, I was like, okay, just give me your, AAMC number, which is just a medical number that I used to apply for residency, and I give it to my program director. Like I write a little note in the email, I met you and how I think you'll be beneficial to my program.
Okay.
That's one of the ways of I'll be doing that. And another way is like, through Twitter, I'd like, if someone message me like, hey, can you help me look at this about personal statements? Or can you what can I do to match it to residency? I'm always willing to offer a hand, I might not, if I can't do it for you, I'll tell you to someone else. I'll be like, oh, reach out to this person. This person is really good in this. Because, we help each other because I got here through someone helping me. So I'm always
Right.
willing to help someone else.
Right. That's really good. I call it, paying it forward, right? You want to
Yes,
help the generation that's coming after you to become a mentor. It goes a long way. It also keeps you on top of your game because as you engage with the upcoming generation, you learn from them as well. So, we
100%.
we really appreciate you doing that with the community.
Of course.
So what are your future hopes and goals as you continue to help close the gap?
100%. I mean, future goals, first of all, to like make sure, try to see if we could get more Nigerians into my programs or Africans in general.
Uh-huh.
My program, actually, I'm only the black person in my program. So I'll be trying to see if I could just get more black people into my program.
Okay.
Because I think that's really important to,
Right.
because if they don't see you, they don't notice you. So
Exactly.
if we have more people that could see like, okay, this view of us is different. Not all of us are the same. Some of us just need the opportunity to prove that we're actually good or we know what we're doing. And we come from amazing community and background. And hopefully in the future, get more involved in ANPA. I think that,
Hmm.
I'll share my own story. Will give someone else the opportunity or give them the motivation to keep going. Because, not everyone get the opportunity to match at the first time. So sometimes
Right.
people want to give up and be like, oh, you know what, maybe this is not for me. Let me figure something else. If with my story or with, helping people and trying to show them that, hey, first, second, it doesn't matter. This nobody cares about how you start, everybody cares about how you end. So having someone to or act as a person for support is be one of my goals in the future and in the AMPA community. Someone that people could reach out to and ask for help if they need help
Right.
or support.
That's 100%. Representation, as you clearly stated, helps. It makes a huge difference. Even as an emergency room physician, I see patients when they come in. The elderly, Black American patients, they cry sometimes when they see a Black doctor. And these are people who they tell you they've never seen a Black doctor in their life. So representation makes a huge difference in what we do.
100%. I mean, I'm sure from your experience with, people sometimes want to argue when they see you as a black doctor because they feel
Right.
like you can understand where they're coming from, the pain they're going
Right.
through, and they feel like you are listening to them, not just answering their questions.
Correct. Correct. So, what do you think our listeners could do to help close the gaps in the provision of healthcare?
One of the ways I think, I mean, is to always communicate, reach out to people. I mean, sometimes it's always tough, to be honest. Not everyone is going to give you the answer you want or the response, but always try to reach out to people, connect with people. Of course, listen to things like this. This is one of the ways to know what's currently going on in the system.
Hmm.
Join groups, join support teams like AMPA, because if you don't know, you never know. What you read on Facebook or Instagram or Google is different from what is in real life. So you have to have real connection with what's going on in real life. Get good mentors, people that you could trust that could support you, and
Right.
hope for the best. Try your best to just keep going. Don't give up. I think having the basic foundation is always key. So having a good support system, having a good mentality, and listening to things like these radio stations, following AMPA group, having a chapter that you keep up with. These are things that will help you be on top of your game, because you will see people that will motivate you. You will have people around you that will keep you going.
Wow, Dr. Olu, you have been such a breath of fresh air to talk to today. So,
Okay,
how
thank
can
you.
our listeners contact you today? Could you give your contact information?
Sure, sure. You can always email me. I think email is always the best, because if you call me, sometimes I might be busy, so you'll be like I'm not listening to you, or I'm not answering your phone call. But it's just that I'm probably like in rounds or in the hospital busy. But you can always email me at E for Emmanuel, so E Olumuyide. So it's gonna be EOLUMUYIDE and MD, which is medical doctor, just MD at gmail.com. You can always reach out to me there. I will reply to you as soon as possible. Or you can follow me on Instagram too, which is just my E Olumuyide. You find me on Instagram too with that name. And you can follow me, message me. I'm always willing to help. If I can't help, I'll direct you to someone that could help most times. And if that person can help, I'm sure we'll find a way to find someone that could help you. We all need each other in this community. Hopefully we could help to get more of our people into this amazing system.
Thank you so much. So, Dr. Olu, you guys have heard him. No man is an island. So, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. Hopefully we get to see soon, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you. At this point, we will be taking a short break. Please stay tuned.
Have you ever considered plastic surgery? Do you have poor self-image or body pain due to excessive skin or fat? Do you consider professional cosmetic plastic surgery provided by Abuja Plastics? Besides concealing aesthetic physical flaws, cosmetic surgery has several physical and mental health benefits, including increasing one's self-worth, self-esteem, and overall quality of life. At Abuja Plastics, we specialize in facial rejuvenation, breast enhancement, and other contouring procedures such as liposuction, tummy tucks, fat transfers, and mommy and daddy makeovers. Our office is located at 2768 Kofo Abayami Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. Visit us online today at www.abujaplastics.com or email us at info@abujaplastics.com. ANPA Closing the Gap podcast listeners can get 5% discount on surgery fees and 10% off spa services when they mention the Closing the Gap podcast. Get your nip and tuck today at Abuja Plastics. M&G Etome Foundation provides skills acquisition programs, graduate HSE programs, and community sports and recreation programs for impoverished youth in the Port Harcourt area of the Niger Delta in Nigeria. Our goal is to break the harsh cycle of poverty in these rural areas of Nigeria by teaching the value of self-empowerment and improvement through our various programs and activities. To find out more about what we do at M&GE Etome Foundation, visit our website at www.mgesolutions.org. We also welcome your donations, support, and sponsorship offerings. Together, we can facilitate positive change and programs for sustaining development of youth in the Niger Delta community.
Before wrapping up our show for today, here's the answer to today's trivia question. This spicy, flavorful soup is made with meats such as goat, chicken, and fish. Hint: it is usually served hot and is believed to have medicinal properties. So the answer is pepper soup. I hope you got it. Thank you for staying with us till the end of this show today. This has been the Closing the Gap podcast, brought to you by ANPA, the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms. Just search for ANPA National and you will find us everywhere. If you've enjoyed this podcast, we encourage you to consider donating towards one of our upcoming medical missions, partnering us, or volunteering. You can also sponsor this podcast or submit an advert placement request. To do any of these, visit the ANPA website at www.anpa.org or send us an email at info@anpa.org. Finally, remember to join us next week for another episode of the Closing Gap podcast. My name is Dr. Uche Aguwa, emergency medicine physician from Atlanta, Georgia, and it's been a pleasure being your host today. Till next time, stay healthy and goodbye.